Hello, hello! How's everybody doing? Alright, so it's time to get back to it. First things first, sound check. Can you hear the background noise, the game sounds? You should be hearing a little bit of music. Awesome, and thanks, Phil. How you doing tonight? Alright, so I'm gonna... Awesome. Hey, Gleep. Alright, so it's time to go back to my quest, which... Oh, I need to get out my chocobo. Ah, the usual stuff. Alright. I hope things are better. Hey, Sage, how's it going? Alright, so now let's get back to doing some MSQ. Great work. I'm gonna go ahead and teleport out there. I'm doing better. I wasn't feeling so good earlier today. Ended up sleeping all day, practically. There was quite a storm we had. I had a headache from it, and yeah. So, what was going to be 9 a.m., 10 a.m. is now 9, 10 at night. Things happen. Alright, so let's see here. Talk to Nidana. Allow me to thank you for answering our call, Nidana says. Many towers have appeared around the world, and we are grateful that you would assist us with ours. Thancred says, though Corral herself is tied up with another investigation, she is an eminently capable substitute, and we will spare no effort to aid you. So, if I understand correctly, you seek to make talismans that can nullify the etheric emissions. Nidana says, indeed we do. As you know, the tower emits vast concentrations of ether. One cannot go anywhere near it without being tempered. As such, we can only study the tower from afar, and are powerless to deal with it in any consequential way. In order to strike back, the satrap bade us alchemists create enchanted talismans that would allow our soldiers to venture into the tower, even should they lack innate protection. Thank you. And Urianger says, could such a thing be possible? Nidana says, admittedly, we are still in the midst of testing, but we are quite confident. Even prior to this, our people have long pursued countermeasures against the etheric corruption of primals. Of the methods tested to date, those utilizing dragon scales proved the most promising. Owing to their etheric density, the scales are highly resistant to disruptive forces. The mightier the dragon, the greater the resistance. We seek to amplify this protective property through our alchemy. Nidana says, thanks to the scales provided by His Excellency, we have been able to make steady progress with the talismans. Soon we will be ready to conduct a field test, and here is where you and your Blessing of Light come in. What'll I say? Whatever it is, just leave it to me. What exactly is it that you need me to do? Or better than having my blood drawn, I suppose. What to say? Better than having my blood drawn, I suppose. Poor Estinian. Nidana says, ha 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 ha. Perhaps so, and knowing my colleagues, they won't be satisfied with blood alone. But as for your task, we ask only that you serve as an escort. I'll explain in greater detail later, but you will be venturing into the tower's field of influence. And so, for your own safety, I would first test how well your blessing shields you, with your permission, of course. Tancred says, in that case, Arianje and I will find other ways to make ourselves useful. Seeing as you all work to the point of collapse, I suspect you could do with more hands. Nadana says, we would be grateful for any assistance you can provide. Nadana says, if you are ready, then let us put your blessing to the proof. If you exit the Great Work and turn south, there will be a hill to the right. I will meet you at the top after seeing to some preparations. All right. He's such a good boy. Yep. Let's give him a pat. Alright, let's go find where she wanted us to go. Turn to the right and go up the hill, huh? After I go out. Alright. This should do. There we go. There she is. Alright, Nadana. Nadana says, I hope you didn't have any trouble finding this place or climbing the hill. Not all are accustomed to the physical strain. I give you the fruit of our sweat, tears, and many a sleepless night. The drunken Depa. A Depa is a lantern presented to the gods as an offering. Taking inspiration from the tradition, we created this device to test the talisman's efficiency. Efficiency. Upon activation, it will move a certain distance before emitting a powerful blast of aether. In lieu of corruptions, those lacking sufficient protection will experience severe aether sickness. For your test, you will be exposed 4 times. That should be enough to ascertain your blessing's protective capability. Please begin whenever you're ready. I shall be observing from a safe distance. Yeah, you don't want the aether sickness. Okay. That little lantern over here. Isn't that adorable? Alright, commencing etheric exposure testing. Repeat, commencing etheric exposure testing. Retreat to a safe distance if you are not the subject. Follow the drunken Depa's lead and try not to fall behind. Okay. Oh, boy. Readying aether. Please stand back. Okay. Am I back far enough? Apparently I'm not back far enough. Readying discharge. Warning, discharging aether. Well, I'm being bathed in aether. Struck by a powerful blast of aether, but suffer no ill effects. Okay. Drunken Depa says, subject has no irrepressible urge to empty their stomach. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. Alright, let's go. Readying aether, please stand back. Okay. Readying to discharge. Alright. Here we go. Warning, discharging aether. Struck by another powerful blast of aether, but suffer no ill effects. Okay. That's test 2. Subject stomach involuntary holding. Confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow. Okay, here we go again. Following this little amp all over Helena, half of Georgia here. Okay, where are we going? We're going in a circle. What the hell? Readying. Okay, let's stand back. Discharging, and we'll step into it. Struck by yet another powerful blast of aether, but suffer no ill effects. The blessing of light appears to be keeping you safe from harm. Okay, subject fortitude rated impressive. No irregularities confirmed. Resuming test. Please follow and brace for final discharge. Okay. There's Nadana over there on the left. Readying. Alright, we'll stand back. And go into it. Struck by the strongest blast of aether yet, but survived completely unscathed. Etheric exposure testing concluded. Please collect and deliver me to the supervising alchemist. Okay. Congratulations on retaining your composure and your humors. Alright, let's take it back to Nadana. Ah, you've returned and not on your knees. A promising sign, but come. Let me take the Depa off your hands. Having exhausted all of its aether, the drunken Depa is now having a well-earned rest. Alright, we'll hand it in. Madonna says, thank you. I shall replenish its aether for when we test the talisman. So, no dizziness or nausea or anything of the sort? You're feeling perfectly fine? Yep. Then the strength of your blessing is beyond doubt. There is no risk that the tower will corrupt your aether. With this, we can request your aid for the task ahead with easy hearts. Alright. Nadana regards you with those eyes you could drown in. You are a capable warrior too, are you not? Would you be amenable to assisting me with another errand? You see, our talisman requires the use of a special ink, but we have exhausted our stores of key ingredient for it, spiritweed. The herb grows not far from here, and I would like to go and harvest some. With the recent spate of kidnappings, however, we Arcasadara travel alone at our peril. Will you not come with me as my escort? I would compensate you for your troubles, of course. Nadana says, I'm in your debt. Without further ado, let us head to Kajaya's footsteps. It's situated on the road, which runs east of the Great Work. Alright. Let's go. There she is. Alright, Nadana says, I may simply be imagining it, but I feel as though we're being followed. Nadana, yes, look out! Oh, we are being followed. Okay. Alright, you're safe now. We got him. speak with her again. Nadana says, "Gods, but that gave me a fright, to think that the moment I ventured outside the safety of the work. Thank the sisters I asked you to come with me. You're all right, I hope?" Nadana says, "Good, good. Let's continue on then. It's not far now, just through these pillars and up the rise." Okay. Through the pillars, up the hill. And there's a monster up there, over there. But we're going to keep going up the hill. Discovering a new location. Ooh. Alright. Whoops. Well, that thing's volunteered for death. It's XP. Nadana says, "And here we are, Kadasha's footsteps. Kadasha was a great dancer, and those who follow in her, well, you know, they come to this place to train and dedicate their dance to their ancestors. A happy benefit to this is that spirit weed grows here in abundance. I will set about harvesting it once, but if you would be so good as to stand guard? The kidnappers aren't like to return soon, but better safe than sorry." Cool looking place, isn't it? Alright, let's go over where that destination is and interact with it.
Yes, that would be Radzad Han. Hardly anyone has been allowed in or out since our troubles with the tower began. The faithful citizens huddle inside the city walls, and commerce has all but ground to a standstill. I pity the satrap, the trials he must be facing.
Alright, what'll I say? What can you tell me of the satrap, or do you trust the satrap? What can you tell me?
Well, he is the most important person in Radzad Han. Long ago, this island was home to two tribes of Matanga, the Gajasura and the Arkasodra. When the Aura came to these shores, it was the Arkasodra with whom they joined forces. Together they defeated the warlike Gajasura, forcing them to flee Thavnair altogether. Peace and prosperity reigned for a time, until a clan of Hjor from the mainland decided they wanted the island for themselves. It was a direct ancestor of the present satrap who arbitrated that conflict and welded the warring factions into the nation we know today. And ever since, a member of that esteemed lineage has inherited this somewhat unique position. You see, by and large, the state is run by the people. But when problems arise, it is the satrap who mediates a solution. The stability provided by the satrap is what has allowed Radzad Han to thrive all these years. And it was the satrap himself who entrusted us with this duty. We will not fail him, nor our countrymen.
What is the delay with the vessel? I told you I need to adjust those ratios.
I come all this way to admire one of my splendid towers, and what do I find? Fools attempting to ward off its tempering influence with magic trinkets. I seem to recall a similar experiment in ages past. What was that man's name? Oh, something. Owen?
Another body, another time. Who could be expected to remember every trivial detail? Allowing them to construct such handy talismans would be counterproductive to my plans. And yet, I find myself deathly curious. How will they manage this feat with the limited knowledge and resources at their disposal? Complications be damned, for we cannot escape the nature of our souls. And I, as ever, am my own worst enemy.
Gleep, you're not wrong. Alright, Nadana says, I have enough spirit weed to last us a good long while. Thank you for keeping watch. Let us head back to the Great Work, shall we? Alright. Speak to Nadana again, back in the Great Work, probably. Okay, let's get back there. Oh, I don't want to tangle with you this time. And we'll go around the other guy. Whoops. Alright, there she is. Alright, Nadana says, oh, my thanks again for your assistance. With your help, we're that little bit closer to completing our talisman. This isn't much, but please accept it as a token of my gratitude. Alright. And little does Nadana know that she's about to send you on yet another errand. Nadana says, if you'll excuse me, I shall return to my work on the talisman. Sean says, ah, you're both back. Excellent. I have a message for you, Mistress Nadana. It would seem the stores of Giant Skull are running low. Nadana says, what? But when last I looked, there was still plenty. Urshan says, I suspect that was before Urianger told everyone about their tempering cure, and Estinian shared his knowledge of dragons. Your peers have since been inspired to fashion a number of new talisman prototypes. Nadana says, I see. Well, if it leads to new possibilities, then far be it from me to complain, but we will need to replenish our stores. Vershan says, I shall be happy to tend to this if you like. Nadana says, as much as I appreciate the offer, my dear boy, I can't in good conscience send you out there alone while kidnappers are at large. Nadana says, Lithingel, loath though I am to press another task on you so soon, might I ask you to fetch the giant skull? In case you're not familiar, giant skull is a type of ore found on the island. Owing to its hardness and etherical conductivity, it has applications in many disciplines, alchemy not least of all. The quarries where it's founded, aptly named Giant Skull Grounds, isn't too far away, so it shouldn't take much of your time. May we impose upon you once more? Oh, of course. Nadana says, thank you. Upon arriving at the grounds, please seek out a man named Zenua. He'll furnish you with the ore. Vershan says, at the very least, permit me to accompany you. It so happens I have an errand of my own that will take me to the outpost nearby. Vershan says, may we borrow a pair of Hamsa, Mistress Nadana? By all means, do try to be patient with them. Those that survived are still in training. Vershan says, I'll bring the Hamsa to the entrance. Meet me there when you're ready. Okay. You know, I'm right here. Let's see if I need to mend anything. I do. Alright, let's repair it. Okay. Let's go. There we are. Oh dear. These things. Alright, Varshan says, here are Hamsa, Lithingel. If the creatures look familiar, it's because they're close kin to your Eorzean dodos. Oof. Hamsa have long been kept as livestock in Thavnir, and many a hatchery may be found here. Alas, the largest of these was recently razed by monsters from the tower. On account of said hatchery being situated near the tower, the Radiant Host repurposed its remnants as an outpost. That is where my errand takes me, and your own destination is but a stone's throw away. If you have no objections, let us first make for the outpost, so we set forth at your word. Okay. Are you ready? Then let us depart. You need only ride and relax. My bird and I will take the lead for yours to follow. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Oh, Lord. Let us be off. If you haven't ridden dodos before, be warned, they're wobbly gait. I see that. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Look at this. I feel drunk. That spectacular formation stretching blah blah blah. Legend holds, wielded by Manaseh against the Magra before it was cast down on Conflict's End. Interesting. To the left, requiring no introduction, is the tower. As you can see, it straddles a small isle. I know, right? Almost there. Though the main part of the hatchery is atop the cliff, the outpost itself is on the beach. And here we are, manned by the Radiant hosts. This outpost is our first line of defense against the tower. Dean says, well, who should it be but young Varshan on an errand for the satrap? Varshan says, I am. His Excellency bade me to come to collect your report. He also wishes to express his heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women of the Radiant Host for their unflagging dedication. We simply do our duty, but we are honored to receive His Excellency's regard. And yet, for his boundless benevolence, his treatment of one so young could be regarded as callous. Though we have enjoyed relative peace and calm these past few days, this remains the front line of battle, no place for children. Your predecessor, too, often traveled alone. It's been, what, 2 years now since you took over? I wonder how that fellow is faring. Varshan says, like those before him, he went on to represent the satrap in foreign lands. Wherever he may be now, I am certain he is well. As for myself, I assure you that all I do of my own volition and gladly. I pray you do not think ill of His Excellency. Nubdeen says, certainly not, lad. Whatever happens, my faith in the satrap is unwavering, but still, I worry for you. We would be overcome with sadness if something were to befall you, for you are as a little brother to us all. Take care, do you hear? Varshan says, I will, Nubdeen. Thank you. Nubdeen says, and who might this be? Not Hanish by the look of her. Varshan says, permit me to introduce Lithingal Driad of the Eosin contingent, come to assist in the making of the talisman. Nubdeen says, from Eorzea, you say? Towers have appeared over there too, yes? Tell me, what's the situation like? Varshan says, may I suggest that you exchange information with our soldiers? Both parties would stand to learn something of value, I believe. Nubden says, an excellent idea. Given the unprecedented nature of the threat, some of ours are understandably anxious. We would be glad of any tidings you could share. Nubdeen says, you too, bring Varshan the latest report and answer any questions he may have. Hey, Ashrin, how you doing? Alright, so gather information at the outpost 3 times. Okay. Let's see, there's one person to talk to. Monday. Ah, I've heard about you, the visitor from Eorzea. Is there anything you can tell us about the Telophoroi? We know that they're the ones behind the tower and that they declared war on the whole world. But why are they doing this? What is it that they want? This, we don't understand. What? They want to die and take everyone with them? What madness is this? Well, you can bet we won't let those bastards have their way. We'll fight them with everything we have, like our Eorzean and Far Eastern brothers. Alright. Nubdeen. It occurs to me I've yet to properly introduce our company. We are the Radiant Host, a military order under the Satrap's command. Our duty is to preserve peace in the land, be it patrolling the streets or dealing with heretofore unknown threats, such as now. We train hard and admit only capable warriors to our ranks. Even so, we struggle to contend with the fiends from the tower. Aha, I see, Ash. Though we succeeded in striking them down on the 2 occasions they came in force, we have to pay a heavy price. Okay. I just sold something. What are the towers in Eorzea? Do they likewise spawn monsters? So it's much the same everywhere. With every nation struggling, we cannot expect calls for outside aid to be answered. Yeah. Alright, let's talk to the last one over here. Ah, that's a imposing tower over there. Alright. Kittina... I cannot say that name. I'm not even going to try. I've already tried and I stumbled horribly. Kateu. Okay. Alright, so I did struggle with it. I got it. Kateu. You wish to know about the tower? To be honest, we know little and less about it ourselves. This Tower of Za, as folks have taken to calling it, suddenly appeared where it did on the Isle of Narunner. We're safe from its influence in at that distance, but go too far into the water and you'll expose yourself to its corrupting aether. You're a foreigner, aren't you? How are they dealing with the tower in your homeland? Our struggles are not unique. Then our hopes still lie with the talismans. We must keep the monsters contained until they're ready. Okay. Let's head back to our little friend. I think he's adorable, don't you guys? Alright, Varshan says, finished speaking with the soldiers, have you? I hope it was Words. Check, please. Let's try that again. Finished speaking with the soldiers, have you? I hope it was was as enlightening for you as it was for them. As a neutral nation and trading hub both, Rajasthan ordinarily receives a steady stream of news from abroad. Alas, this stream dried up when trading vessels stopped coming. Amidst the dearth of information, everyone will have been grateful for your account. But come, you had best see to your original errand, as mine will keep me here a while longer. However, I'm afraid I cannot guide you the rest of the way. Worry not, the path is straightforward. You need but follow the road east. Upon the Hamza, you will arrive before you know it. Brief though it was, I enjoyed our time together. Till we meet again. Yeah, I need to get stuff together for Tuesday as well. But that can wait a little bit. Oh, Hamza. I guess I'm not riding my motorcycle, I'm riding a bird again! Though the Hamza appears to want to return home, it reluctantly offers you its back. Should you become separated from your steed, speak with the Radiant Beastkeeper at the Hamza hatchery to mount it again. Alright, mount it up. Oh, I get to drive this time. Oh, I need to come back for that Aether Current. I don't want to get off the bird. Tuesday is when the next patch for the game comes out. Monday it'll be maintenance, so it'll be down for quite a while. And then Tuesday we are going to get a whole bunch of new content. And so there'll be story, there'll be the island, and a bunch of other stuff. Oh? No sooner do you arrive at your destination than Helm's the dash is off. Not 24 hour? Okay. 8-hour maintenance. But yeah, a lot of new content, new crafting, new gathering. Don't be logged out in Lower Lenosha. Alright, Zahena says, or Zainua. Zainua. I got it right that time. Hi, this is indeed the Giant Skull Grounds, and I'm Zainua. Is there anything, or something you require? Okay. Zainua says, Giant Skull for the alchemists, you say, but of course they shall have it. They labor tirelessly to deal with the tower, and 'tis the least we can do to provide them with the materials they need. Alright. So, sack of Giant Skull for me. Okay. Here you are, a sack of the purest Giant Skull. We always have some set aside for our alchemist friends. When you deliver it, let the good folk of the great work know that we're grateful for their efforts. If they need more, they need but ask. Okay. Ooh, triple triad. Not now. Not now. Alright, while I'm thinking about it and remembering where that was, let's go get that, Aether Current. I'll skirt around that, just outrun this stuff. That one's gonna jump on me too. We're gonna outrun that too. Here we go. Everything should have fallen off. Let's go get that Aether Current. And head back to the great work. And I couldn't jump far enough. There we go. Alright, Nadana says, welcome back. Dare I hope you got the giant skull? Yep. Nadana says, oh my, such fine specimens. Thank you so much for bringing these. We now have everything we need to make our next prototype, one that should be capable of passing our most rigorous tests. When it's ready, it will be time for the true test, so please take your ease while you can. No, I don't think you can get right out to it just yet, but soon enough.
I see our taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well. You have to hand it to these alchemists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed. I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
They had better be, or all this effort was for naught.
The peoples of Eorzea, of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat. Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we? They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration. The victors of this war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning, and its worth.
Poetic and ominous to a fault. That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think. Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea. And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us can say they have not entertained similar thoughts? There are nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you can do to grit your teeth and choke back the bile.
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear. Vengeance is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
Indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
As will I. Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that. What is it? What did you see? Fandaniel, are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
It holds. The vessel holds! This is the one!
At long last! Look! We have finally created a talisman strong enough to withstand our experiments! We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear. Thou hast mine admiration. 'Tis an invention of historical significance.
I thank you for your kind words. But I would prefer you keep them unsaid until we test the talisman's efficacy in the field. It is for the next stage of our plan that we summoned you in the first place, to accompany me to the Tower of Zot. Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
Alright, what I say? Let's hope it doesn't come to that, or you needn't ask. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Nidana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example. But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Fandaniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you. Be on your guard.
Shall we be on our way? I'll have one of the soldiers at the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore. I'll see you there.
Well, we get to check out that tower after all, Phil. Alright, let's go find Nadona. Not dealing with your quest right now. Yeah, let's head up the shore. That is quite the tower. There she is. Donna says, "This is a rather finer boat than I had expected, but I won't complain. All that remains is to board and be on our way. Oh, and if I should become corrupted, do not stay your hand. Of course, I pray it does not come to that, but you must prepare yourself. Other alchemists can fulfill my role, but you and your blessing are one of the kind. and perhaps our only hope for toppling this tower. For all our sakes, do not hesitate to do what must be done, whatever that may be. Well, the longer I draw this out, the more nervous I become. Let's be off. Head to the Tower of Zot with Nadana? Yes.
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence. Any moment now. It's working! And you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could. So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance. A few more steps. Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be. Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets. What?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, let me go! Oh, let me go! Oh!
Oh, do calm down. You'll only hurt yourself thrashing about like that.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid. The similarities are striking. My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting.
Oh, what'll I say? Patrons of old? Or what are you talking about? Patrons of old.
Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Vandaniel, the sundered Ascian. I inherited the position and the soul of the Vandaniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking. Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Vandaniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am. How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded. I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allegan ruin or two. Yes? Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
At your service. Imagine a nation of unbridled prosperity. Every need met, day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace. Existence fulfilled and ripe for decay.
You are a genius without peer, Amon. However do you conceive of such delightful experiments? That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull. Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing. Oh, the memory of it. My poor sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter, we struggled to breathe.
No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My all-consuming work. But it was not their only indulgence. For they were ever hungry for stimulation. Slaves to the slightest hint that amusement was afoot. Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged. I resurrected a legend, our first and greatest emperor. And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest. An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards, always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied.
Heed me, Amon. No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by death. In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war, and so I have come to claim you. For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Vandaniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself. See what lies ahead.
The fall of the Empire affirmed the truth, majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will, nothing endures. What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
So easily distracted. Why, I almost left without saying farewell. As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primals. If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades. We shall meet again! Not in one of these minor spires, oh no, but somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see.
Okay, that was a lot of information there. Let's talk to this radiant soldier. Ah, you've returned, but where is Mistress Nadana? Manusea preserve. Just when we had succeeded in making the talisman. I must report that... Words. I must report this at once. Meanwhile, please return to the great work. Alright, let's go talk to Thancred. Drive back down the coast. Yeah, let's take the fatter cat. Yes, airplanes would be faster, but I can't fly yet. Alright, I am going to pick up his quest, because blue quests are always important, especially when they have the plus sign. Because this one's going to get me an Aether Current, so we'll grab that. Do you have a moment, adventurer? One of my colleagues has gone missing. She said she was going to Kajida's footsteps to get a bit of exercise, but she hasn't come back. I'll I'd go search for her, but it's almost time for a shift change, and I can't very well leave the kiln to operate itself. Could you find her and fetch her for me? I'll go look for her later. You're too kind. She should be in Kajaya's footsteps. Keep an eye out for her, here with black hair. I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. She was out last time you were by, and she was devastated that she missed out on the chance to meet the adventurer aiding the students of Baldacian. Yes, they do pretty much always have that blue plus, and they are very important to do. They unlock things. Stairs. And let's talk to Thancred for now. Alright. So, Thancred says something's gone awry, hasn't it? What happened? So it was Fandaniel after all. Damn that bastard. I'm sure you wanted to do more. Ah, hey, Glape. Sure you wanted to do more, but you were right to return here first. We must tread warily lest we endanger Nadana and the other captives. Oh, hey! You got the dance. Alright, there we go. Ah, Thancred is wearing a grim expression. First, we must inform everyone of the situation, Nadana's colleagues included. I'll call them together for a gathering, but I think it would be best if you were the one to explain. Yes, that was Gleep dancing. Alchemist says, oh, Nadana, sob. Can you answer me this? Though Nadana is trapped in the tower, she's still alive, yes? Then... Spirited Alchemist says, then we must make warding scales, as many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This Nadana proved at peril to herself. So let us make more scales, that she and all those who were taken might be saved. As alchemists, this is how we will help win the fight. Roshan says, my friends, the satrap has been made aware of this tragedy. He offers his heartfelt condolences and reiterates his pledge to provide you with all that you require. To that end, he bade me to give you this link pearl, that he might personally discuss the production of the warding scales with you. And for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In her report, Mistress Nadana noted your vital contributions to the talisman's creation. In fact, this fact came to the satrap's attention, and in recognition for your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, he would also discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it's agreeable, will you not accompany me to Razat Han for an audience with His Excellency? Thancred says we should be honored, of course. Closer cooperation between our lands can only be to the benefit of all. Bashan says, then it's settled. Please come to the gates east of the Giant Skull grounds, and I shall show you into the city. All right. Well. Let's go do that. Actually, I'm gonna go see if I can find that black-haired here. Well, I appreciate the thought. No. There she is. What do you mean? I need to get back to work. Oh, have I really been out that long? I should really go. But I was hoping to get a better look at the stage before I left. I'm sure you're busy, but could you assist me for a moment? Thank you. I'll inspect the walls, so could you make sure the stage is in order? Okay. Oh, there's a destination. Some of the paint's worn off. It could use a fresh coat. Okay. Small hole in the roof. That can't be good. Cloth waves exquisitely in the wind. No problems here. Alright, let's go talk to her again. Placard here says, any problems? The floor and the paint? I'll have to fix them the next time I come by. Thank you for checking. You know, it seems odd that I've never met you until now. You wouldn't happen to be the adventurer sent by the students of Baldacian, would you? You are? And here I was delegating you menial tasks. If I had known, I've always admired travelers like you. You see, I was studying to be a dancer under Mistress Nashmira at one point. I wanted to see the realm as I traveled for performances. And maybe I still can. Not as a dancer, of course, but as an alchemist. Oh, but we should hurry back to the great work. I don't want to cause any more trouble than I already have. Alright, well, you go do that. I'll check on you later. Back to the main story. Whew, that's a long way down. I can't fall off, though. Alright. Oh, you thing, I'll outrun ya. Oh, Aether Current. Hey, look, a hunt's over there. I need to get some of those too, Tig. I'll get a supply myself. Make sure you get yourself some, Gleep. Alright, let's skirt by all these giraffalopes. Alright, Vishan. All present? Then let us proceed. Owing to the threat of the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert, and strict restrictions are in place for entry. Though you have been granted special permission, I ask that you remain close to me at all times. Alright.
A vast rock squats upon Thavnair, and to its stony surface clings the city of Radz-at-Han. Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things. Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun. The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets. But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Here we are. Megadota. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside. Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, Satrap of Radz-at-Han. Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale. Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude.
What'll I say? But Nadana, she was taken, or not everything went to plan. Nadana was taken.
A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman, that it will be instrumental in saving Nadana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
I want one of those chairs. They look very comfy.
I think not. This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
Nay, he hath the right of it. The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
As you wish.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me. Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn. I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelga and Nidhogg.
Aye, mine elder brothers, of Midgard Sorma's spawn, I was last to hatch.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Radzat Han had an alliance with a dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively. In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone. In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive with the Aura. Adopting the example of their Arkasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility. When it seemed all would be drowned in blood, Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radzat Han.
But if Vritra is still here, then your position as satrap is just...
A charade, yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the Great Worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who join me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
Your eye. It was taken.
"'Tis here, buried within the semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Razatan. With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an inconspicuous vessel for my wit.
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered, Estinian warm blood. From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another, yet did neither one of us bare his fangs. That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Radz Adan. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Pagalthan and Cartanau, I am told. 'Tis upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions. And should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales. I worry, however, that even the four of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go, steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Sharlayan is in order.
Wilt thou not lend thine aid?
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Radz Adan, I see no reason to refuse, nor will I.
I am in thy debt.
Alright, let's talk to Thancred. That meeting took a rather unexpected turn, but we now have a clear objective ahead of us. Let us rejoin our comrades in Sharlayan and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Zot. Oh, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to attune to the 8th Rite before departing, unless, of course, you enjoy violent nausea. Alright, well, I have attuned to the main Aetheryte and the one at the Great Work. I don't think they'll let me back in here yet. Yeah, they won't let me back in there yet. Alright, meet Thancred in the main hall. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I think so. Let's go in the main hall. So, Tower of Zot soon! Thancred says. Just as I was getting used to balmy Thavnir, we're back in chilly Charlayan. Take care not to catch your death, eh? We need you for the battles to come. Now then, everyone appears to be here, so let's take stock of all the developments and discoveries. Ryle glances at you with expectant eyes. Since there has been progress in both investigations, shall we share the findings from our respective locales? Time to recap.
Your time in Thavnir has certainly been eventful. In my opinion, carrying out Vitra's request and assaulting the Tower of Zot should be our highest priority.
I agree. While I still have questions concerning the Forum and their grand undertaking, we have all but exhausted our avenues of investigation. Simply pressing them any harder on the subject will almost certainly result in our expulsion. Therefore, I suggest we explore the ethereal sea connection by way of a letter to Master Matoya, then make our way to Thavnir.
I wonder, even with the protection these talismans afford us, what can we hope to achieve once inside the tower? According to Orenvold and Frodola's report, they were unable to free the Emulger. Worse, their attempts triggered the tower's defenses, which led to a summoning of Luna Ifrit.
What does it tell us that the Spires even have such defenses? Simply pulling a prisoner from the wall is fatal, thus the direct approach is doomed to failure from the outset. Any further measures to dissuade such actions seem unnecessary. Unless, of course, there is a way to free the prisoners without killing them. Then it stands to reason that any intruders would be met with overwhelming force.
The towers appeared throughout the world in but the twinkling of an eye. 'Twas by magical means these structures were raised, I surmise. A spire thus conjured must needs be maintained, and I suspect an arcane catalyst, some manner of core, doth lie hidden within. Destroy the core, and the tower ceaseth to be, thus liberating the captives without harm.
So we can hope, and I would prefer to enter the tower with a working theory than with no plan at all.
Assuming Ishtola's reasoning is correct, the chances of the defenses remaining dormant are small to none. Any primals will have to be dealt with, and defeating one will likely only lead to the summoning of another. Our every victory will only compound the prisoner's suffering.
May we not then divide our forces? Those proficient in healing will focus on sustaining the captives. That duty can be covered by Urianger, Kryl, Yostela, and myself. The remaining scions will proceed with the search for the core. Admittedly, this strategy puts both parties at greater risk, but it should bolster our chances of saving the Arcasodra by a considerable margin.
Alright, what am I gonna say? Are you sure? Alphino is in the right group, or what of Alice say? She knows it's healing speller too. Night, Phil. Alright, are you sure Alphino's in the right group?
If you're to fight primals, then you'd best have at least one healer with you.
And I am more than happy to fulfill that role. I found wielding a sage's armaments to be rather intuitive, and look forward to testing them against a more challenging foe.
It seems we have a plan. All that remains is to carry it out. I will inform Rads at Han of our movements, so let us make our preparations and regroup near the tower.
A military post in what's left of the Hamsa hatchery should serve as a convenient staging.
That sounds perfect. And remember, the experimental aetherite at the confluence is there for those who need it, so there's no excuse for being late.
Alright, so back to the hatchery, which means back to the great work. And we'll turn in that blue quest while we're here. Ah, there you are. I heard you helped my colleague with her stage inspection while you were out. It's greatly appreciated. She really looks up to your kind, you know? She lost her chance to become a dancer due to an unfortunate injury, and now she's working to heal the sick and injured as an alchemist. She was so happy to meet you, as am I. Here, a token of our thanks. Aether current and a little bit of gil. Alright. Now we can get back to that hatchery. Will the chocobo get us there? No. Alright, we'll go the other way. Along the coast. Almost dungeon time. Yeah, that's true. I was just hopeful that there was a porter down here since we had that quest that brought us down here with the ride. No harm in checking. Oh, dang it. One of them turned around and saw me. Yes, I know. Tower of Zot is next. Here we go. Ah, our friend of Eorzea, Nabdeen says. We've been expecting you. You and yours will lead the mission to the tower, I'm told. Awarding scales will be delivered soon. Till then, please stand by at the boat we've readied. When you fellows arrive, I will direct them to join you. We pray for your safety and success. Let's head over to the boat. All right. Elsie says, ugh, if this is the future of Aetherite travel, I think I'll stick to boats. Alphino says, aye, no warning, however emphatic, could have prepared me for that. Grahatia says, on account of which we are a little late, but fighting fit, mostly. Brashan says, my friends, permit me to thank you for accepting this mission. Kral says, you must be, we should still call you Marshan, I suppose? Indeed, it would not do to confuse our soldiers. Kral says, very well then. For our part, we are humbled that you should see fit to entrust us with your warding skills. Please convey as much to His Excellency. Varshan says, one for each of you. Please accept them with my blessings. Thancred says, our thanks. With these, we can go anywhere those with the blessing of light can go. Thancred says, not only for this operation either, but all the ones to come. We can finally break your monopoly on primals. What'll they say? I've been waiting for this day? I wouldn't mind carrying on as before, you know, or in that case, they're all yours from now on. I've been waiting for this day. Eggert says, so have we, my friend. So have we. Nishtala says, if everyone is amiable to it, let us review the strategy for good measure. As previously agreed, we will divide into 2 groups. Lithagal and her band will break through the tower's defenses and locate its core. Meanwhile, the rest of us will tend to the prisoners, who will doubtless want for healing due to the duress of repeated summonings. Ariandja says, the primals which the tower bringeth forth shall be deities of Thavnerian myth. As we have no prior experience with such foes, pray exercise the utmost caution when confronting them. Alphino says, we commence the operation at your word, my friend. For the people of Thavnir, nay, the entire world, we must prevail. Alright, now accessible. Anybody coming with me? Awesome. I can only DPS. Alright. Okay. Gleep, you're in a party, so I can't invite you. Ah, she's down the hall. Okay. Well, we can wait a couple minutes. Alright, so we've got a few minutes then. We're waiting for Gleep to get back. Alright. I could go attend to my retainers while we're waiting. Let's go do that. Actually, I'm gonna go in the house. I do still love how this turned out. Ooh. Gleep's back soon. Go hop up on the roof. Or not. There we go. Now I'm on the roof. What dances do I have? There we go. Any idea how long Gleep's gonna be? Nice timing. Alright. Alrighty. Once Gleep's in party. Here we go. Thanks, guys. Whoops, I clipped it. Sorry. All right. Holy cow, those are actually an upgrade for me. Okay. I didn't realize how undergeared I'd left this character. Second boss time. Oh, how I hate it. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. What I hate is the forced stops we get. Because of what it does to your rotation. There we go. Nice job, guys. Yeah, it was neat seeing it stop midway. No matter the cost, we must protect the tower. The Magnus sisters. Or Magus sisters. Oh, I hate it. Leave, LB! Or not. Oh, late. Sorry, I should have said something sooner. Thank you, guys. That went really well. Good job, guys.
Is everyone all right?
We fortified the captives with what magics we could. Have the defenses been disabled? All appears quiet for the moment.
The lower floors were disturbing enough, but this place feels wrong. The ether is heavy and thick, like wading through a quagmire.
I believe we stand in the tower's beating heart. What sayest thou, Ishtola?
I see it. Ether siphoned from the land runs up through the spire, flowing to a single point. This is the core we seek. Yet something is off. As large as this structure is, it siphons far more ether than is required to sustain it. 'Tis as if the core is feeding on the energy, consuming it. I need to take a closer look. Curious. There is something there embedded inside the core. A man's limb.
This is what we came to destroy?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
And that should be the end of it.
What now?
My theory that the tower might come crashing down following the core's destruction doth appear to be correct.
Bully for you! And how are we supposed to survive the fall?
What of the prisoners below?
The floor beneath our very feet dissolves. Brace yourselves!
I pray I'm not too late.
Man, what an after party.
Oh, what happened? Where are we?
By my reckoning, we're still on the island where the tower stood, but 'tis as if it never existed. Hardly a scratch. But how?
Graha wove a levitation spell at the last moment. Large enough to catch everyone, it would seem.
He a tired kitty boy.
That explains the lack of obvious injuries.
The expenditure of so much ether has taken its toll. He will need plenty of rest, but should otherwise be none the worse for wear.
Then the immediate problem is what to do with our new friends here. They'll be much changed for their time in the tower. Even if their bodies are intact, I doubt we could say the same for their minds.
Angelo and I will take care of that.
I have every faith in you, Alize, but there are just too many for you to treat alone.
We'll send at once to Eorzea for more Porksies, and call on the local mages to lend a hand.
Hail, Scions! We were watching the tower when it simply disappeared. What happened here?
The threat is banished, and thy people delivered. They are, however, in need of treatment, and we of a secure locale and helping hands to assist us in its provision.
You shall have all this and more. Come, let us convey these unfortunate souls to the city.
Alright, let's talk to Thancred. The liberated prisoners are being transported to Razat Han for treatment, Thancred says. Alice and Y'shtola will oversee the administration of the tempering treatment, with support from those who know a healing spell or two. We'll go and join them in the city once you've had a moment to catch your breath. Alright, now I may enter with the trust if I wanted to. Okay. Well, let's talk to Thancred again. Thancred's rested and ready to set out. Thancred says, had enough rest, have you? You never were one for being idle, right? Varshan bade us to come to Meghadata at our earliest convenience. The others will join us, okay, once they've finished tending to the prisoners. Ah, wait, on second thought, you and Estinian should go on ahead. I need to make a quick detour by the Great Work. We left Graha in the alchemist's care, you see. Best to fetch him before he's crammed into a specimen jar. And Estinian says, just you and me then. The guardsman at the gate should wave us through. Alright. Speak with the Radiant Guardsman. Let's go! Alright, so I'm not quite as far as I was hoping to get to for this stream, but I think it's about time to wrap up after I turn in this quest. There will be another stream tomorrow. So we're gonna run on over here and be standing at the guardsman when I log out. Next stream will be much earlier in the day, hopefully, depending on how I'm feeling tomorrow. Alright, so this is where we're going to wrap things up. Thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for the help on getting through that. And I will see you all in the next one, hopefully. Have a great night. And bye for now.